Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Rndr, FET and Injective price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're going to start with Rndr here on the daily. Of course, as you can see, we are still looking here for Rndr that it might still get a wave Y there in a zigzag, of course, where we might have a W and X here as a triangle, and you're looking at a wave Y there, which it might be an A here, a wave B, and it can be, of course, sorry, and wave A and wave B, and then A, B, C, or even 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for a diagonal to finish up, of course, an ABC. The time is very required here. The time, FIP time, of course, taken from the W to the X to create a balance here between the wave W and the wave Y. Now, preferably, of course, even the 1-to-1 time, meaning, of course, here suggesting the wave C, right, which is the 1-to-1 time. But if we are in a wave Y, we should finish only in a zigzag, for example, we might push for higher around the 0.618 FIP time there for Rndr. So two possibilities: zigzag, probably we push for higher, but to test, of course, a wave 4 in diagonal. If broken, then we push for higher. If not, then we push for a wave C, still to continue, of course, in this wave C therefore at that time, and then push for higher later on. Before I move, of course, for another one, let's check the lower time frame. Of course, the micro level, we have an ABC here, right, for a wave B, and we are looking for Rndr here to push for lower. Now the target taken as an ABC expanding flat here, 3 ways down, 3 ways up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But yeah, I don't see this aligning with any of the other altcoins so far, because it might still be, of course, in a potential bullish scenario here, but we're not gonna wait, of course, to drop down onto the invalidation to say, okay, we are bullish, we are bearish here. Yeah, so the invalidation is very, very low, and I mentioned this since yesterday, of course, that even if we are in an ABC here expanding flat, it might be, of course, a wave A, then B, and then wave C, meaning, of course, even W, X, and Y can be also very likely to reach the low, and then, of course, looking for something else. Maybe it's gonna finish up here something as a zigzag, as we mentioned, but we'll see, guys. It can be also, yeah, it can be something as potential zigzag or W, X, and Y, but I don't see any. I mean, I cannot say we are bullish in Rndr, despite that it is, of course, 1, 2, 3, still looking for and a 5. I cannot confirm this yet, especially that yeah, the price here is still showing red, breaking the 1.618, not yet, but of course it is very likely to happen today, since we are very, very red in the crypto market. So we gotta be careful, guys. I mean, just here to be much more logic, despite that it is, of course, an ABC expanding flat, it might be again WXNY or ABCD per correction. So we gotta be careful with it. Yeah, so this is regarding Rndr. Now, Rndr can suggest even something here to push for higher a little bit, but it can be corrective. So I would say it shows strength a little bit, but it can be corrective upward and then pushing for lower later on. So don't get confused with it. This is what I want to say. Don't get confused and think that we are bullish there. So for FET as well, FET was very clear, right? It was very clear already that we are looking here for something still for lower. We are in W, X, and a Y, or an A, B, again as a triangle. Wave C has to be an ending diagonal then. Fib time have to be taken. As I mentioned also before, it has to create balance there, and very likely even, yeah, to reach the 1-to-1 FIP time, which is around September. So yeah, it's gonna take months until we reach there, and then we start to push toward the upside. Okay, so very likely that this might happen. It can be, of course, here a wave 1, 2, probably 3, 4, and a 5, something like this as an A, B, and a C. Your wave C is the diagonal here unfolding. You have already a zigzag formation, potentially another zigzag formation. So very likely. Now, if it wants to take only the 0.618 FIP time minimum time here, it can be a wave Y, That means, of course, your wave Y might finish here, potentially an impulse over there, because you want to finish A, B, and a C here, and then pushing for higher. And this might be your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then continuation toward the upside. On the 2 hours, 1 hour chart, we are today also, of course, in red, I believe. So yeah, here we go. We're still continuing toward the downside. 1, 2, 3, wave 4, and a 5 has to unfold, of course, for lower. So this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 that it might be unfolding toward the downside as well. So we gotta be careful as well with FET. Let's see the final one, which is Injective here. So for Injective as well, we're gonna take a quick look at the daily, where you have 1, 2 and potential 1, 2 unfinished, or an A 3 waves finished. You're looking for a wave B in 3 waves. So those 3 waves are represented in a W, X, and a wave Y here. Now, what is different in Injective? Not the time, because the FIP time has to be taken also the same as for the other altcoins, obviously. But what you can mention here is that you don't have a triangle like other altcoins, FET and Rndr, while you have a zigzag for X. So very likely you might get a triangle here for Injective. So it can be an A, B, C, D, and an E somehow like this, reaching the time, pushing for higher. So not necessarily, of course, to take the lows. Potentially here, yes, it can be A, B, C. Don't forget, this is your A, B, and a C in a triangle, and then getting another triangle, zigzag, and then finishing wave E here, and then pushing for higher, where you are very close, of course, for the perfect time, at least to create a balance here, with the wave X and a Y, and then start to push toward the upside from there for the altcoins. So the same timing, I believe, September, as it says always, for most of the coins as well. So very, very likely. On the 2 hours and the 1 hour chart, we are, of course, still bearish here. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 still unfolding, not finished. So let's dive in it. So basically you have a 1, 2 here. You have another 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Oh, okay. It can be finished there, but yeah, it can be finished wave 5, wave 4, and a 5, 3, 4, and a 5. But don't forget, you're still very, very bearish, okay? We're still looking for an impulse. Despite that, we might get some corrections here. We might, of course, at the end, dive deeper and deeper. For Injective, the targets, of course, are around the $3, 3.25, and $2.76 as well for Injective. Yep, so we still, of course, looking for lower, guys. In general, we're still looking for lower, and even we're still looking for a time of consolidation to create balance and then start the bull run again in September, very likely 2026. That was it for the Rndr FET and Injective. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.